Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. I just wanted to let you know, those of you who are unaware, I not only volunteer my time and host this show on Rogers TV, but I'm also a yoga instructor. And throughout the summer, I'm going to have drop-in yoga, some outdoors. So be sure to check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca. Now we have a great show. We will be talking to Feed the Need, the CEO of Feed the Need, and we're also finding kittens their forever home with the Durham Humane Society. And if you're wanting to be on the show, make sure you wait till the end of the show and we'll let you know how you can also get involved with Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I hope you're going to enjoy the show, and we'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello everyone, your host Antoine Hashim here on the couch, and welcome to Season 8. Yay! 8 seasons. And we've got a lot of awesome guests coming up, so keep watching.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So with me on the show, I had Ben Earl, who is the CEO of Feed the Need in Durham. Ben, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I would love for you to share with the community what Feed the Need is all about.
Yep. So Feed the Need in Durham is the regional food hub for emergency food providers. So what we do is we collect, store, and distribute fresh, frozen, and non-perishable food for over 60 other charitable organizations that run food security programs across the entire region of Durham.
Oh, that is beautiful. And how long has your organization been around for?
We are going into our 14th year as an organization in the community. The work to set us up started a little bit before that, but it took about 5 or 6 years to get the organization going, and we've been in full operations for almost 14 years now.
That's fabulous. You know, I have been involved with some charitable organizations before that have had some food programs, but I didn't realize that there was a bigger umbrella program that was helping to support the smaller organizations.
Yeah, that's how we work. We do that so that we can leverage our collective sort of support of the community and get as much food and other resources to those who need it as possible. So we really work as, we're an independent organization. We really work as a network and leverage that network of organizations to serve our community.
Now, do you work with different grocery stores to be able to get larger supplies? Who are your partners?
Our biggest suppliers are actually the grocery retailers, but not at the store level. The large food distribution hubs that are based in Ajax primarily. We go there once a week or twice a week in some cases and pick up large volumes of excess food from those locations. We do get donations from grocery stores as well, but our biggest suppliers are those large food distribution, as well as food service providers like Flanagan's and Gordon Food Services. Those are our biggest suppliers, as well as direct from some commodity groups like dairy farmers and egg farmers and that. So we collect all of that in various ways in our warehouse and get it out to the organizations.
Beautiful. Now, have you noticed during COVID an increase in need, or has it been pretty much the same?
A dramatic increase in need, like you've probably been hearing and your viewers have been hearing from across the province. We've gone from serving, prior to the pandemic, about 6,000 individuals a month across the entire community to serving 10,000 a month across the entire community. That's just to our food banks as well. That does not include the meal programs that we also support. We support about 25,000 meals being given out through emergency meal programs as well each month.
Now, do you think that need has increased primarily because of loss of jobs or increase in food prices? What do you account for the increase?
So the economic downturn always and loss of jobs always is the first reason why we see an increase in need, and we saw a dramatic increase right away. But then over time, as people are out of work longer and their finances get more precarious, we see an uptick in need and a long-standing need that doesn't go away. And the rising food prices, especially in the last 6 months, are really contributing to people's need to continue to rely on emergency programs. Even if they are back at work, we're seeing people still attending food banks and other food programs because of the cost. So it's a combination of all of that, and the circumstances just compounding over the last 2 years.
Now, in the near future, do you see the food prices continuing to rise, or do you think there'll be a leveling out, just like there has been with, let's say, real estate? Things are starting to level out a bit.
Well, I mean, with all things like that, we will see a leveling out. The challenge is they probably won't drop, at least not significantly. You might see a little bit of a correction, but food prices are higher now, and they're going to remain higher for the foreseeable future and that especially affects those who were already struggling to make ends meet. But we see it as plateauing because that's sort of the cycle of things, but we also know it probably will not decrease. And we also know that the need for our programs, while it may be plateauing now, it's not going to decrease anytime soon either.
Okay. What would you like to get out to the community? What should the community know about your organization and maybe how they can assist?
Yeah, so what they really should know is that we support almost all of the major food organizations in the community in some way. If they're not a direct member receiving food from us, we certainly work with them to make sure that we're getting food where it's needed. So they should really just, it's good to know that there's a network of organizations working together to address food security, and Feed the Need is sort of the primary support for all of that. And as I think you said, the umbrella organization. So we really just want people to understand that we're here and that's what we do, and we can help connect multiple organizations at the local level across the entire region. And if people want to help, they can reach out to us. Reaching out to us through our website, feedtheneedindurham.ca, is the best way. You can find opportunities to volunteer when they're available, to make donations, to run food drives, or to make a food donation as well. All of the information about how to work with us and support us is available there.
Okay, beautiful. Now, I understand you guys had a break-in, and after we come back from a break, we're going to talk about what happened there and what that means to your organization and what type of support that you need now to be able to fill in those gaps from the things that you've lost.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I was so upset to hear about that. You know, an organization as amazing as yours that is out there helping the community, for something like that to happen is just such a hard blow, right?
Yeah, it was really disappointing, but the response from the community has been wonderful. We've seen lots of support and lots of individuals and others reaching out, programs like yours reaching out to chat with us, to talk and just to learn about who we are. So we've said, well, it was disappointing that it happened. We've seen amazing response from the community.
Beautiful. We'll get into that. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but we can't carry the ball. How can we get a decent shot at the peach basket?
All right. Maybe we can allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir, it sure slows things down having to climb up here every time.
Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket.
Ah, but I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I'm talking with Ben Earl, who's the CEO of Feed the Need, which is located in Durham, which is a beautiful umbrella organization that helps organizations to be able to distribute food within the community where there is a need. And Ben, so welcome back.
Thank you.
So I understand that there was a break-in not too long ago. Do you want to tell the community what exactly happened there?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, right at the end of April, we had a break-in overnight at our facility in Oshawa, our warehouse. We run and maintain a 40,000 square foot warehouse space in the south end of Oshawa. So we had a break-in to one side of that location. They came in overnight. We lost, technology and some tools from our warehouse, but the main thing is we keep parked inside. We had a brand new, beautiful refrigerated van that we had only had for about a month and a half, and it was stolen and has not been recovered. So the van is now considered lost. Yeah, so a pretty significant blow to us in terms of loss of some resources. Good thing is we didn't have much damage to the location, but we certainly lost that van, which is a big deal.
May I ask approximately how much that van would have cost you?
Yeah, so well, because it was retrofitted with refrigeration, it cost us just a bit more than $80,000 to buy, and we bought it with we had grants and wonderful support from the Durham Community Foundation to purchase that van, and we had waited a long time. We purchased it about a year ago and waited about 12 months to get it.
I am so sorry. That would have, you know what it made me think of, and made me think about when I was a kid and I was home with the chicken pox. So bear with me here. I was home with the chicken pox. It was in elementary school. And I found out, like, a friend called me saying, you won the draw at school. You won this BMX bike. And I'd never won anything in my life. And I was so excited about it. And then 2 weeks later, it was stolen from the side of my house.
Yeah, that's how it feels, right? We worked really hard and we had great partners to get that vehicle. And we had barely started to use it. It was really part of our plans to respond to some of the need that we've seen growing in the community and to grow what we do. So it's been a bit of a blow to us. Now, the wonderful thing, of course, the van will be replaced. It's just it's going to take time to get that van back. Obviously, we do have insurance, but the challenge is that the retrofitting will need to be paid for again, and that's a significant part of the cost. And it's going to take time to get that van back to the organization. So there's some delays in some of the new things we wanted to do, which is a blow to not just us, but to the community that we serve.
So what type of assistance do you need from the community to help support the losses that you incurred?
Well, the biggest challenge, like I said, is going to be not only we're going to be able to get the van again, but we're going to have to retrofit it. So we're going to be doing some fundraising to help us pay for the costs of that. It costs about $20,000 to get it set up as a refrigerated vehicle by the time they install all the equipment. So we're going to be doing some fundraising. So if individuals are interested in specifically helping with that, they can reach out to us because we're going to have to raise a bit of money because we didn't plan for this expense, of course. To help us retrofit that van and get it set up again. But at the same time, if individuals just want to help us out with food donations, that's always welcome. Even if this is just a way for them to learn about who we are, that's sort of the silver lining, is if they can learn about who we are and what we do in the community, and they can help us in other ways by just making food donations or running a food drive, or we have our Crama Cruiser event coming up, which some of your kids' schools might be participating in. It'd be a wonderful way for them to participate and get to know us better.
Is that called Crama Cruiser?
Crama Cruiser, yeah. It's next week. We've done it for years with the Durham Regional Police Service and local schools. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Local police show up at the schools, and the schools fill up police cruisers with food donations that they've collected. So it's a wonderful community building event that we do with our schools and our police. It's been on hold for a couple of years because of the pandemic. So we're really excited that it's coming back and going to be happening next week.
That's beautiful. So when the cruisers go out to the schools, what type of food are you mostly looking for? Are you looking for canned food, dried pastas? Where's most of the need there?
Definitely, we always need canned vegetables and dry pasta and pasta sauce that goes with it. But we also definitely need things like canned meat and tuna. That's always welcome. Peanut butter is always welcome. What I like to encourage people is if you're going to make a small donation, think about how you might constitute a meal. So if you're going to donate pasta, donate the pasta sauce with it, right? So that you're sort of thinking about how you would construct a meal. That helps us make sure we're getting the right food to people who need it, and they can actually make meals with it and feed families.
Beautiful. Now, if anyone in the community wanted to make any financial donations, or maybe they don't have kids in school right now and they wanted to contribute some food donations, what's the best way for them to do that?
Go to our website if you can, feedtheneedindurham.ca. That's the best way to get in touch with us. You can see everything we're doing. You can see all the links about donating. If you can't, you can give us a phone call. 905-571-3863 is the best way to reach us. Call and ask, and our team is happy to help find a way that you can support us or even one of our member agencies in your community.
Beautiful. Now, we are just wrapping this up. Are you looking for any volunteers?
We're always looking. The opportunities sometimes can go up and down, but definitely if someone's interested in volunteering, reach out to us and we'd be happy to have a conversation about what you can do.
Okay, that's wonderful. Any specific types of volunteer positions? Is it normally for specific events, fundraisers that you look for volunteers, or organizing food?
Definitely, we always have volunteers in our warehouse. People who can drive our vehicles are also always welcome if they're able to. And if you can't come and join us at our facility, volunteers can also help us by running food drives in their community and organizing them with their neighbors and friends.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you on the show. And you are stronger despite that break-in. It is going to make you guys stronger.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver. You've stayed over, called home. You've called a cab or a friend and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Hi there, I'm Mark Grice, and I host the show Mark Grice the Artist. Do you love watching great art? Okay, well, maybe this isn't the place to come, but if you want to watch me make a painting in an hour, I start off with a photograph in my hand like that, and I can turn it into a painting like that.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I have Elizabeth LaBelle from the Durham Humane Society with me with some playful kitties. They are so cute.
They are having so much fun today.
Oh my goodness, how old are these little ones?
These guys are about 4.5 months.
Oh, do you have names for them?
Yeah, so these are the Star Wars kittens. They are all named after different Star Wars characters. So we have a Chewie, we have a Yoda, we have a Leia. There's a bunch of really cool names in this litter.
So what's the name of this little one that's having a blast with the ribbon?
Yeah, so this, I believe, is Leia. We have quite a number of them in here. There's a couple short hairs, a couple longer hairs. And they are not up on the website yet, but they will be next week. So they all have to be spayed and neutered first. Every animal that comes through our shelter gets spayed or neutered before they become available for adoption. And so these little ones are just hanging out with us. They're spending a little bit more time so that we can get to know their personalities. And then they'll have their surgeries next week and be made available for adoption.
Okay. Is there a certain age that you normally wait for? I know you said next week, but is it about that 4 month, or you said, did you say 4 months, right? Is it about that 4 month mark that you get them spayed?
So it's very different between shelters and between shelters and vet clinics. Most vets recommend waiting until they're about 5 to 6 months before getting them spayed or neutered. But in a shelter circumstance, we do have some specialized vets who work very closely with young animals, so they are able to do it slightly younger. So it is still quite safe. They get spayed and neutered around 10 to 12 weeks, or once they hit 1,000 grams. So they have to be a certain weight before they can get spayed and neutered. And so 1,000 grams is what they have to reach. So that's why you see kittens that can be adopted at 10 weeks, because they've already been spayed and neutered in the clinics.
Okay. Now, I had a question, and then it's like, it left. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. Oh, it's back. So if someone was interested specifically in kittens, but they're not on the website yet, if they go on the website now to apply, do they still have a chance to be able to adopt kittens that they're not even being advertised as of yet?
Absolutely. Sometimes we find that people will apply for a certain kitten on our website. This little one already got fixed, so they want to hang out with their siblings. But sometimes we find people will apply for kittens, and maybe the kitten that they're applying for just isn't the right fit, but the shelter staff has an idea of a kitten that's in our care that might not be ready for adoption yet. It goes the same for dogs. Sometimes we have a dog in our care that we think could be a good fit. So we will let the adopter know that we have someone in mind that we think could be better. And if they're open to it, we will hold on to their application for that specific animal to become ready for adoption.
Okay, great. Now, with this particular Star Wars litter, is it still okay for people to adopt one as opposed to 2 kittens?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do not put a boundary on adoptions in terms of how many you have to adopt. There are lots of families out there who aren't looking to add 2 animals. They might only be looking to add 1. And so we do talk to them about what that would look like for them. Oftentimes, kittens specifically, if they're adopted in pairs, it's beneficial to them because they'll have a friend to play with. But if you want to adopt just one, it just means that you're going to be taking care of most of the enrichment for that animal. So it just means a little more responsibility for you to play with them more. So lots of people enjoy that. So it's actually beneficial to the animal too.
Yeah, it can be very therapeutic for the owner, right? Having that playtime. These guys are very vocal.
Oh, yes, yes. Up top, we have Chewy, and Chewy just got fixed. So he wants to be playing with his siblings, but he needs a little more time to rest and make sure that everything heals up perfectly.
Okay. And I have a dog named Chewy, so I think that kitten's my favorite so far. I'm just kidding. I love this little guy that just wants to keep on playing.
This one just wants to play all day long.
Now, do you have any success stories from some of the other cats that you have shown us on the show? Any new adoptions that happened?
Oh my goodness, we have adoptions every single day. Every single animal that we have aired has been adopted to this point.
Oh, yay! That is so great.
It's so wonderful.
I'm so glad we're doing this. Hey, we're making a difference. We're finding these cats' homes. I love it.
It really, truly makes a difference.
Just a little moment ago, there was a little ear that came into the camera. Who was that?
Yeah, there is another little sibling that's coming down to say hello now over here.
Oh, there.
The little one was jumping right at the camera. They hear voices and they're like, who's there? Who's there? They love people.
Oh, I love it. Well, I just want to make sure everyone knows that please, I want them to check out your website throughout the summer. Always keep an eye out for new adoptions. Kittens are being born pretty much every week, probably now, right?
Absolutely. We are right in the middle of kitten season. We have tons of kittens in foster that will be coming up available for adoption within the next few weeks, the next few months. And kitten season goes right through September. So please, please, please keep an eye on the website. Everybody who is interested in kittens, we have tons. So there's definitely no shortage of kittens for people.
Okay, but maybe a shortage of food. So just as a reminder, people can drop off bags of food, right? Oh, we gotta go. But thank you so much, Elizabeth. And goodbye to all the little kitties. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
A properly fitting life jacket or personal flotation device will keep the wearer afloat. Adult flotation devices are fitted by chest size. When fastened properly and lifted, the PFD should not be able to be pulled up past the wearer's nose and ears. With inflatable PFDs, it is a one-size-fits-most. When worn, it is best to leave the straps a little loose, so there's some room if the jacket needs to be inflated.
I'm Jonathan Van Bilson, and I've had the opportunity to spend my life traveling and photographing exotic locales around the world. Thanks to Rogers TV, I'm now able to share my adventures with you on my show, Photos and Travel, right here on Rogers TV.
I'm Eric Marchinosa's Cinema Scene in Review. Join me for a monthly movie roundup of new releases either in theaters or available to stream. See you next time in Review.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I almost forgot how to say the show name. Anyways, that was a great show. I'm really grateful for our guests. So thank you to Feed the Need in Durham. Make sure you check out their website. If there's any way that you can support them, then definitely contact them. And thank you so much for the Durham Humane Society and all that you do in helping to find those animals their forever loving home. If you want to be on the show, you can send us an email, uxbridgescugoglife@rci.rogers.com. That is Uxbridge Scugog Life at rci.rogers.com. And guess what? We will be back next week for another show, and I hope you can make it. And you know what? Pass on the love. This show airs also not only on TV, but it's also on YouTube. So share the love and pass the show around. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school, wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord Downey and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together we are sharing Secret Path and other